Hi, we're Chris and Teresa, and we would love to guide you on your fiber arts journey. We own a successful fiber processing mill and online needle felting business, experienced at raising all fiber animals, and have renovated a 100-year-old school into a fiber arts retreat center.
Processing, needle felting, yarn, roving, fiber animals, and sustainable agriculture are all topics discussed here. Think of this as your one-stop shop for advice, information, tips, and getting your questions answered on all things from farm to needle. So pull up a seat, make sure you're cozy, and get ready to be inspired while you learn. This is EweTube.
Right, okay, here we go. Hi, y'all. We're back.
She sometimes is Southern. We don't know
you
why.
all. No, it's you all. It's the whole U-E-W-E all. Y'all. You all. Anywho, right now, playing in front of us is we are doing a Barra blend. I'm going to call it the Barra blend.
Okay.
We're doing a blend of Romney, CVM, and dog hair. And it's Newfoundland dog. And it's the super soft down that I've been saving for 4 years. 4 years, at least 4 years.
And why did you decide to do it now?
Because I cleaned my pantry and I found 2 bags of it.
Pantry?
And
Is it a pantry for food?
well, I had some dog hair in it too. When you're into fiber, you put it where it fits.
In the pantry?
Yes, and Mariella and Helen were doing some rearranging in the dry rack area, and there was 3 or 4 bags there as well. So I figured, you know what? It's just time to get these out of the way. So we had some CVM and some Romney that was washed, and I thought, this would be kind of fun to do.
You should use that in your lace project.
I'm thinking about it. Because I haven't decided how.
Or your cruel project.
Are you making fun of me?
No.
Okay, good. I don't know if it would be good at the
I was thinking
cruel.
of ways for you to use.
Well, I was thinking of spinning it into either a lace or a fingering, because it would make a beautiful sweater or shawl, because the dog hair is going to halo similar to mohair or Angora rabbit when you work with it. And it does not smell like dog. I get asked that all the time. Well, doesn't it smell like dog? It's the dog that smells like dog. Once the hair the fiber is combed off the dog and washed in the yarn form, it no longer has dog scent. So
Behind us, you'll see some shelving. So we're still after how many years being down here?
Goodness.
Doesn't seem like years. It seems like months.
Okay,
But
2021. Oh my goodness, 3 years. It's been 3 years.
we're still getting organized.
We are not at all organized. So we finally have some shelves. A giant long shelf.
We're finding ways to store things more efficiently. So Steve put up these shelves behind us. We got some, what would you say that? A shelf.
It was a shelving unit that Mariella donated to us. Thank you very much. And Steve made them into cubbies with like a little reach-in.
Yes, so we have so many different colors of fibers for needle felting, and this is where Mary works, and Bob and Heidi, so that when she's packaging orders, she can quickly just go find these colors that people have ordered and grab them out. And it's just a nice place to store them. Where before we had boxes that were
sagging,
falling over.
Because it's so humid down here, the cardboard after a while just starts to sag. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're always reorganizing, trying to figure out new ways to make it better.
And the shelving back here, I think we're going to be using it for organizing the the class supplies, because that's an ongoing issue, is finding the scissors or the...
Yeah. So, when we got to set up for a class, it's hard to figure out where everything went. It's on shelves right now that are a bunch of stuff.
Not so good. Yep.
And so this last class, I was trying to find the scissors that went. So we had ordered scissors that went. So we had enough for everybody in the class, and couldn't find them. And we still don't.
They're
know
here.
where
They're somewhere there. They're amongst that spectacular bunch of
Fascinating.
supplies there. Okay, there is something. I am at all not an expert of wool moths, but I've dealt with them for, I don't know how long, 12 years now. And you learn how to find them. You learn how to, your eyes are just focused in on looking for them at all times.
And I have to say, I never thought of wool moths
before
Chris.
And most people don't. I never, which is so bizarre, found them in Teresa's wool. And I processed for you 7 years prior to us partnership. And she stored them in a shed.
It was like our lawn shed.
I mean, not at all secure. I am just shocked.
They were in bags. So
Yeah.
we put them in garbage bags and labeled them and put them in this building. And then
And I'm shocked.
I would drop them off at Chris's
as
mill on my
needed.
way to Fargo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked that but never. I never
So-
had wool moths in mine, my personal.
But every once in a while we find them in what's coming here from others.
Right.
And so this led us to wonder if they start on the sheep.
Yeah. Is that possible? I was always told it's not possible because wool moths like dark, warm, not moving, where a sheep is always moving, so they're not going to lay it on the actual sheep itself. But I wonder.
Right.
Because
So, and like, how do they find this? How do they get to it? Because recently you found some. We had a bale that you'd used a lot of wool out of.
correct. It wasn't it was a Tyvek bale. It wasn't a full bale. The full bale is about 450 to 480. And this was maybe 300 pounds roughly. And we probably have used about 120 pounds out of it. And
Without
then-
seeing anything.
Without nothing. And nothing, we didn't see anything in there. And then we found one. And so then we dug down in there, and inside, towards the bottom of this bale, was this whole colony? I don't know what you call them. I mean, it was herd, colony, flock, whatever. It was tons of them. It was the little maggots. It was all the little cocoons, and you can tell where they had eaten the wool out in little pockets, and it just makes zero sense.
And
because that came to us 2 days after it was sheared.
Yeah. So then you were wondering if that was wool that was just in the bag already.
Yeah, because
or how
like
did they get in
yeah,
there?
like a sheep shear, they use hydraulic presses, and I'm like, well, maybe there was a little bit of wool that was left in the bottom of the Tyvek bag prior to putting, the wool from the farm that he was shearing at that time. I don't know. I can't explain it other than
Or it was were these in that bag?
in the bag.
That was used before?
Yeah. It just yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't have the
And
answer.
so then we had thought through, so I think last YouTube I had talked about how we powdered the sheep for lice. And if bull moths could be on the sheep before they're even shorn, if
that would take
if
care
the
of
fact
them.
that
Yeah.
we're using this powder to put on them is killing the bull moths before,
Yeah, because it's like a delicer, louse type product, and I used to use a similar type product also. It's just
and where where they
if
come
anyone
from.
could shed some light on this or point us in a direction of an
just a
expert,
good
that would be
discussion
amazing.
on
Yeah.
wool moths would be nice. Like I said, I had never even thought about wool moths. I remember people contacting me and asking, could wool moths get into my needle felted sculptures that I purchased from you. And I was like, well, mine never have. That's all I had to go by. And then
Yeah.
I had never really thought about wool moss very much until you were extremely worried about it all the time. And I was like, well, I've never experienced them, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know why they would get into your house or
what
anything.
would cause them, I don't know. Well, when Libby went to,
She went to college and she had them. She had gone to a secondhand store and purchased some things, and she thinks she may have picked them up there.
got it.
And so she was in her dorm room, which she knits all the time, and then it got into her yarn, and
What's the problem?
it was a problem. And yeah, it wasn't ever an issue for me so far, but so like when Chris gets wool from other people, like if you have wool moss in that, she gets rid of it so that we don't ever get
Yeah.
them in the mill, which would be horrible.
Yeah. And the mill is treated 3 times a year with tempo, and the wool moths are very easy to kill. It's just perplexing how it got into this bale that we had so recently. If you watch, it's one of our shorts that actually shows you can see what a wool moth egg looks like. You can see what the little maggot looks like, what the little cocoons look like. Yeah. If you see anything like that, get rid of your wool. I mean, there isn't a mill in the country that will process it with any evidence of wool moth anything. And I've talked with other mills, and we're like, look at what we found, and look at what we found, and it's, all mills, they're like, that's probably the first thing when you open a box, what you look for, whether it's alpaca,
But it would be really
mohair.
interesting to figure out why it's an issue in some and not in others. Like you said, I would after shearing, put them in garbage bags, put them in our lawn shed.
Which is similar to like storing them in a barn. I mean, not
And right
secure.
now we have a bunch of wool stored in our barn, and we haven't had any issues.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be, because it's cold. Well, right now it's like
Yeah,
negative
it's nasty.
6 right now. It's been pretty nasty, but yeah.
Which is how you
But it
kill
makes you
them.
wonder. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just interesting. Yeah, it's just a. I mean, they can get into your wool socks, your wool coats, your wool sweaters. That's why folks have cedar closets, and yeah.
Which, like I had always thought of it's like a southern thing, because we don't have to deal with it because we freeze. Kills them.
Yeah. And it's
Which is the same
interesting,
with
yeah.
lice. That's why we only have to, we de-lice them in the fall, and then it freezes, and then we don't have to worry about it again.
Yep, Jessie, when she watched that short of the wool moss, she texted me a picture where she had received some wool from, and she said it smelled very strongly of mothballs. It was in a vacuum-packed bag, and it had all 3. It had the actual moths, the maggots, as well as the eggs. I mean, it was the whole, that were in there, and it's just like, how? Why? And some people say, oh, lavender. You just put lavender. Well, I have received wool from folks that have lavender sachets in them with wool moths crawling all over the lavender. I mean, it's just, I don't know. If someone can point us into the direction of an expert, can figure this out, we will share with all.
Yeah.
Because it's frustrating.
So last week we had talked about our year of creativity, and we started our year of creativity, and we decided to start. January was going to be the month of embroidery, and so we both went to our store here at the Gnome Schoolhouse, and we picked out an embroidery kit, and we started those this week. Which is
Let's see them. Come on. She's got mine too, so take my glasses off.
So
Where's Chris's?
This is Chris's. She
Here's
decided
Chris's.
to do these llamas.
They're called llama mamas.
And then I did, this is, I don't know, it's flowers. So, and they're both Jessica Long
Embroidery kits.
embroidery
Come with
kits.
everything. And this is how far Chris got. I got the pattern in the hoop. And then discovered I didn't have a scissor because this weekend we did Christmas with the grandbabies down in Minneapolis. So at the Grey Wolf Lodge, if anyone has ever been there. Yes, great fun. And oh boy.
So I started mine and got it this far.
Let me
It's been
see this
super
up
fun.
close.
They're so pretty.
Oh,
flowers.
that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. As you can see, mine will be super cute. And the colors are super cute. And the reason I brought this along when we went to Minneapolis, because on the way back, I had every intention of doing this in the vehicle.
In the evenings, you said you were going to do it because you had your own room.
I did have my own room. If anyone has ever been to the Grey Wolf Lodge, over a holiday weekend and I was,
How many grandchildren?
well, there's 5 grandchildren, but I had my own room. But the room next to me, I think, had at least 40 small children in there.
Why?
Sounded like it. Because they were like bouncing off the walls and screaming. And then the room on the other side of me, pretty sure, also had at least maybe 20 small children. And, you know, God bless them. I love small children. But it was like,
Were you on the top floor?
no.
Why?
Because they didn't have a top. I always try to request to be on the top floor. I was on the 7th floor. And when I went to the elevator, I noticed there was an 8th floor. It was just, and then it was super
Must have been
cold
the
down.
goo
It
goo
was
box
so
to get on the
cold
top
down-
floor.
Yeah, it was so cold down there that they shut down the body slides that went outside because it was
yeah.
too cold. I couldn't get my hotel room above 62 degrees, which is fine. I don't like it super hot, but it was just,
I would have died.
yeah, it was just, it was, I had a wonderful,
So you
awesome time with the
couldn't
grandbaby,
you
so.
couldn't embroider because your hands would have froze.
And I couldn't concentrate because I was listening to screaming and bouncing and yelling, and it was just, yeah. But oh my, it was a wonderful time. Wonderful time.
You slept
Priceless.
well.
No, I slept horribly, but I had a wonderful time.
With her grandchildren and children.
Yeah, I had a
Yes.
wonderful time with the grandchildren and children. My hubby didn't go, but wasn't able to go. He wasn't able to go. But anyway, yeah, this is beautiful.
Thank you. So
Yes.
because it was freezing cold outside, it was, I don't know, what was the temperatures?
Oh my goodness, there was like no
Sad.
travel advice because of the Well, this was all across the United States. I mean, I heard it was in Frisco, Texas, it was like 7 degrees or 10 degrees.
Yeah. So it was
Everywhere.
so cold.
Yeah,
It was a very good time for me to embroider.
yeah,
So I
that looks beautiful.
I really enjoyed it. So it was,
Those are cool
I have-
colors for your house too.
yeah. So I have
You're almost done.
some leaves.
I have some
Left
catching
to do.
up to do this week. My husband
And it's
is
gonna be
leaving
continued
on
cold.
Thursday, so I'll be able to get some catching up done.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. It's been fun. There's
The stitches were easy too.
So what I'm curious,
yeah.
So when you do embroidery, it's always displayed. Oh, there's my needle. It's always displayed in this. It's what
Why?
I don't want it in this.
It doesn't
with
have
the
to be.
screwy thing,
You could take that off and put it in another
A frame.
A frame.
but it's like 3D because this little flower sticks out, which is
And
why
it should
it's
not
so
be
cute.
under. It should not be under glass.
Yeah.
Either it should. Yeah.
So I just need to find a different frame.
Yeah. Yep.
And so when I opened it up, it seemed really tiny, but it's been fun because you're going to be
Yeah.
done so quickly.
Yeah.
And
That's what
yours
I'm-
is the same size, so
Yeah.
it should go very
should go
quickly.
pretty quick. These are a little, I mean, the
It's different
stitches are a
than
little smaller than some of those. I don't know, maybe not. And then this
and
has a,
like we showed last time. Hers is a picture. It's different because
Yeah.
mine's just outlines of the, different flowers
yeah,
and things.
and this
And hers
actually
is a
has the
picture
two-
of that.
And so then the background is lavender, and that will show then once the little llamas are done.
Yeah, so she's inspired now.
I am.
This week, like tonight, she's gonna go home.
No,
After
I'm not. I
this-
gotta go home and feed my husband because he's still home.
It's past.
Yeah,
He
I'm
might be
hungry, too.
sleeping.
I'm hungry too.
So I've been really enjoying the embroidering. So next time we'll see some. What are they?
Some llamas. Mama llamas.
And we'll see where I'm at.
Yeah.
We both chose a second kit just in case, and then we were going to try to embroider, just use embroidery in a different way. So I'm thinking with needle felting.
Yeah,
how
I
to
have
do
an
it.
idea. Do you want to see what I'm going to do?
Sure. Excuse her.
Okay, here at the mill, I'm going to spin some crewel yarn, I will call it, for embroidery. And it's going to be a 2-ply fingering. And then we have these little hoops that are car coasters.
Fit into.
absolutely perfectly.
But they don't fit in there enough to hold it in the thing.
Yes, they do.
Do they? I know, but okay, it needs to be tight to be able to embroider in it.
Oh, yes, yes, to be able to embroider on it. You don't have to have it in a hoop. I can embroider like this. Absolutely. And then when it's done, I'm going to put it into this hoop as such.
But you can embroider, but it's not